Sabor global.
There he is, the culmination of 400 years of struggle that ended in a spectacular success for our country and for his race, for both his races. This man carried his ancestors and his heritage on his shoulders and invited the rest of us to climb on board so that he can take us on a wild ride through one of the most improbable presidencies to a prosperity unimaginable in those dark times when he assumed the nation's highest office.
I don't oppose war in all circumstances, and when I look out over this crowd today, I know there is no shortage of patriots or patriotism. What I do oppose is a dumb war. Now, even as we speak, there are those who are preparing to divide us. The spin masters, the negative ad peddlers, who embrace the politics of anything goes. Well, I say to them tonight, there is not a liberal America and a conservative America. There is the United States of America. There is not a black America and a white America and Latino America and Asian America. There's the United States of America. The pundits like to slice and dice our country into red states and blue states. Red states for Republicans, blue states for Democrats. But I've got news for them too. We worship an awesome God in the blue states, and we don't like federal agents poking around in our libraries in the red states. We coach Little League in the blue states, and yes, we've got some gay friends in the red states. There are patriots who opposed the war in Iraq, and there are patriots who supported the war in Iraq. We are one people, all of us pledging allegiance to the Stars and Stripes, all of us defending the United States of America. Because whether it's poverty or racism, the uninsured or the unemployed, war or peace, the challenges we face today are not simply technical problems in search of the perfect 10-point plan. They are moral problems rooted in societal indifference and individual callousness, in the imperfections of man, the cruelties of man towards man. We have to reach in to ourselves. There's a spiritual dimension to the work that we do. So long as we're not doing everything in our personal and collective power to solve them, we know the conscience of our nation cannot rest. Our conscience can't rest so long as 37 million Americans are poor and forgotten by their leaders in Washington. We need to heed the biblical call to care for the least and lift the poor out of despair. That's why it's not just a policy issue when we fight to expand the earned income tax credit and the minimum wage. It's a moral issue. If you're working 40 hours a week, you should not be living in poverty. It was a creed written into the founding documents that declared the destiny of a nation. Yes, we did. It was whispered by slaves and abolitionists as they blazed a trail towards freedom through the darkest of nights. Yes, we can. It was sung by immigrants as they struck out from distant shores and pioneers who pushed westward against an unforgiving wilderness. Yes, we can. It was the call of workers who organized, women who reached for the ballot, a president who chose the moon as our new frontier, and a king who took us to the mountaintop and pointed the way to the promised land. Yes, we can to justice and equality. We will remember that there's something happening in America. are not as divided as our politics suggest, that we are one people, we are one nation, and together we will begin the next great chapter in the American story with 3 words that will ring from coast to coast, from sea to shining sea. Yes, we can. For the men and women of Reverend Wright's generation, the memories of humiliation and doubt and fear have not gone away, nor is the anger and the bitterness of those years. That anger may not get expressed in public, in front of white co-workers or white friends, but it does find voice in the barber shop or the beauty shop or around the kitchen table. At times that anger is exploited by politicians to gin up votes along racial lines or to make up for a politician's own failings. And occasionally it finds voice in the church on Sunday morning, in the pulpit and in the pews. The fact that so many people are surprised to hear that anger in some of Reverend Wright's sermons simply reminds us of the old truism that the most segregated hour of American life occurs on Sunday morning. That anger is not always productive, but the anger is real. It is powerful. And to simply wish it away, to condemn it without understanding its roots, only serves to widen the chasm of misunderstanding that exists between the races.
Here's a little education. Enjoy.
Congas are not Spanish instruments. Congas are African instruments. Throughout all of South and Central America and the Caribbean, congas have been mastered for 400 years. Yet, in the USA, congas were not part of the African American experience. Why? Again, why? And why do African Americans play trap drums instead? Since congas were illegal, then the only drummers were those that played drums for the military, utilizing the tom, the snare, and the bass drum, so the beginning of jazz includes these ex-military drummers. But, there was another type of drummer. Tap dancing, African drummers at heart stopped their jam sessions, making believe they were just bad dancers. They were jamming African style right under the patrons' noses. So when you see congas mixed with a jazz band, they call it Latin jazz. But what it really is congas coming home and joining the African American, by joining the jazz art form, where they should have been all along.
En su cuna ya no puede dormir. La negrita Lucumí. Sin tu drume yo te voy a comprar una cuna colorada. babae. Inche obuosuo, inche mi babae. Ebyo soso mi sodare, romola de mi sodare. Ebyo soso mi sodare, romola de mi sodare. Inche obuosuo, inche mi babae.
So what I learned was that African Americans were denied the ability to celebrate using congas. So they lost the ability to spontaneously jam with congas, which means that you two don't even know what you're missing out on. I'm going to show you a family birthday party that is having a conga jam in Cuba.
I don't even have a concept about what you are saying.
Yes, I mean, Congo drums are foreign to us. Which means that we are stripped of something very fundamental to our core so completely that we don't even realize we're missing it.
Precisely. Check this out.
How can we reacquire our Africanism and regain what we lost so long ago? Do I wear a dashiki, an African headdress?
Maybe it is not about clothing or the African flag. Maybe we need to meet Conga people and go and make friends with them. Get invited to their celebrations and experience it. Bring our children to the rumbas so that they grow up feeling a little closer to Africa. That might be the closest we ever get to Africa, but it might be enough for our children.
The following goes on during every Sunday of the summer, in Central Park, New York City, on 72nd Street, just west of the famous fountain. It began with the Puerto Ricans in the early 60s, but has been dominated by the Mario Cubans since the 80s. You won't notice many African Americans.